Hi, it's me again, talking about troop formation today. Just going to go over a couple things to begin with. We're doing Revenant right now, and so a lot of what I'm talking about, we'll talk about troop formation in regards to them. But I want to talk about these little numbers here. So this is a level 5 Revenant, and the number 5 is in blue. That's going to be cavalry. So sure enough, cavalry. But another thing I want you to look at is recommended troop power. So a lot of you aren't understanding where that came from, and I'm going to explain that for you. So I'll zoom in, see, troop power, 74.42. So I know to beat this guy, we need a minimum of strong troops, but we also need a minimum hero value of at least 74.42 million troops. So close that. I'm going to go up here to show you this undead general army camp. You notice that this number is in like an orange or a yellowy orange. Orange means distance. The gun up in the top there also tells us this is a distance troop that you would send there. Again, recommended troop power. Pay attention to that, 11.39. You'll know if you'll be able to beat it with your heroes if they total up more than that. I will get to that in a sec. Most of these camps are cavalry. The number is in red. So you know that you're going to put your cavalry troops. They also are easy to beat with pretty well a good cross-section of your troops that you use. Usually what your game automatically comes up with when you go to attack. But when it comes to revenants, I really want you to be specific on what you choose. So that being said, let's go back down to our heroes and we'll talk about the power value. So I'm going to click on my Peggy here and I'm going to go down and I'm going to look. She's 18 million. So this is where we start to add up what our power value is when it comes to beating a threat. Okay. And then my next one that I usually pair her with is Conrad, and he is 20. So I know I have a minimum of 38 million power value there that I can use to attack when I pair those two together. So let's close out of that. And now we talk about troop formation. So I want you to go back to your estate and you're going to click on your drill grounds. And you can kind of see I've got my infantry. You can kind of see I've got a few things down below that I have to level up because I picked them up during Celestials. But I'm going to show you how to do a formation. So mine are set up right now based on those numbers. We have infantry, cavalry, and distance. So my first one is set up for infantry. So I've maxed out my infantry, and because I have different levels, I have tier 9s and tier 10s, I have to scroll down a bit and pick those up. So I've maxed out my infantry on both those tier 10s and 9s. And because it hasn't added up, like if I took that out, I wouldn't have a full contingent. So I top off with cavalry. Come on. There we go. So now I have a full amount, okay? My troop power is now 21,634,000. So that's pretty darn good. Okay, so for the next one is going to be cavalry. So now I pick these two heroes again because one is good at infantry and one is good at cavalry. But I find the two fight well together and they do well in my rallies. So I've maxed out my cavalry in my tier 10, but I've also gone down and I've maxed them out in my tier 9s, which I'm still leveling up, but they still fight with me. I didn't have enough, so now I've added distance to top it off because cavalry horses, guns, it makes sense to put the two together and they do work effectively when we're attacking those revenants. And lastly, we have distance. And distance is a little different because the heroes I choose are both distance. Notice they both have, guns, which is a distance hero. Felicia and Tamir pair very well together. So if you have them reasonably start up, like my Tamir is 6, I'm still leveling them up, but she only has 5, but they do add up really well in power. So I've added all my distance in. And again, I've maxed out my distance. I can take those out, just level those all up. Make sure they're totally maxed out. And make sure that you're deploying your airship or your Kong with them. Typically, they will set it up for you. And then you make sure you save each setting as you go. I didn't do it in the other two because I already had them saved, but I just adjusted this one. So make sure you pay attention to the power level. Understand that the colored number is important. Red is infantry, blue is cavalry, and orange or yellow is distance. So hopefully that helps out. Get those formations set up. Next time I come on, I'd like to see a few of you doing your presets and just jumping in with presets that you've already done in your formations. Thank you. You know where to find me if you have any questions.